In the harsh conditions of glacial Europe, where the cold wind penetrated through, the meeting of two types of people became fateful. Homo sapiens and Neanderthals lived side by side, sometimes competing for hunting grounds, and sometimes making contact that changed history forever. Neanderthals were physically more powerful, their bodies adapted to the cold, but it was strength and endurance that became part of the mating rituals. Neanderthal males demonstrated their prey, bringing meat and skins, showing that they were able to protect and feed the female. For Homo sapiens women, it was a sign of attention, a kind of courtship, a gift. A piece of fresh meat or a rare jewel for decoration could mean an invitation to a union. Archaeologists find traces of such contacts, joint sites where the tools of two cultures lie side by side. This suggests that there were not only conflicts between them, but also exchanges and social ties. Imagine the moment. Homo sapiens women are sitting around a campfire, and Neanderthals appear next to them. Their gestures are rude but understandable, outstretched hands with gifts, demonstrations of strength, hunting trophies. This is not romance in the modern sense, but it is courtship expressed through caring and protection. Women could appreciate such attentions. In the harsh environment, union with a strong male meant survival. And that's exactly how the interbreeding took place, which left a mark in our DNA. Today, every person outside of Africa carries 1% to 2% of the Neanderthal inheritance. This is direct proof that courtship and alliances between the two species were a reality. Geneticists find signs of adaptation in these DNA fragments: stronger skin, resistance to cold, and immunity to certain diseases. All this is the legacy of those unions.
But it's important to understand, these were not always voluntary contacts. Sometimes they could be the result of pressure or necessity. However, archaeological evidence shows that there were long-term joint settlements where humans and Neanderthals lived side by side. In such places, courtship turned into a social ritual. The man brought food to the woman, helped to build a shelter, shared fire. It was an expression of affection in the form that the era allowed. And it was these courtships that became the bridge between the two species. Thanks to them, we know today that the history of mankind is not only a struggle, but also an alliance, exchange, and joint survival. In the archaeological layers of Europe and the Middle East, scientists find traces of joint sites. Homo sapiens stone tools lie next to massive Neanderthal scrapers. This means that they not only collided, but also lived side by side. Courtship took place in such places. Neanderthal men brought meat, skins, and rare stones to Homo sapiens women. It was a sign of attention, an expression of strength and care. Imagine a scene. Homo sapiens women are sitting around a campfire, and Neanderthals are approaching them. One puts fresh loot in front of them. The other gives them a piece of obsidian, a rare material for knives. This is not romance in the modern sense, but it is courtship, expressed through gift and protection. Women appreciated such signs. In the harsh environment, union with a strong male meant survival. And that's exactly how the interbreeding took place, which left a mark in our DNA. But the courtship was not only material. Neanderthals could demonstrate strength by lifting heavy stones and showing dexterity in hunting. It was a kind of marriage ritual where physical strength became the main argument. Homo sapiens, more graceful and flexible, responded with other signs. Women could decorate themselves with shells, apply body paint, showing their readiness for union. Thus, there was an exchange of symbols: strength and protection from Neanderthals, beauty and signs of attention from Homo sapiens. Scientists believe that it was precisely such rituals that allowed the two species not only to survive.
The joint sites of Homo sapiens and Neanderthals were not only a place for exchanging gifts, but also an arena for joint hunting. In the harsh conditions of glacial Europe, hunting was dangerous and required cooperation. Neanderthals, who possessed powerful bodies and strength, took on the role of beaters and defenders. Homo sapiens, more agile and faster, used cunning and strategy. Together, they could get large animals: mammoths, bison, deer. Imagine the scene: a group of Neanderthals herding a herd into a narrow valley, and Homo sapiens setting traps and spears. The success of hunting meant food for everyone, and it was such joint actions that strengthened social ties. After the hunt, the prey was divided. Neanderthal men brought meat to Homo sapiens women, showing care and attention. It was an important element of courtship, a demonstration of strength and the ability to feed the family. But courtship was not limited to hunting. Cultural elements were exchanged at the joint sites. Homo sapiens brought jewelry, shells, bones, painted stones. Neanderthals shared their knowledge about durable tools and stone processing. Homo sapiens women could adorn themselves with Neanderthal gifts, showing acceptance of courtship. It was a symbol of union, a sign that the two worlds were joining. Parenting was an important element. In joint settlements, children could grow up side by side, learning skills of both species. This meant that future generations became stronger by combining the agility of Homo sapiens and the strength of Neanderthals. Archaeologists find toys, traces of shared learning. This suggests that courtship and alliances were not accidental. They turned into long-term relationships, where caring for offspring played a key role. Genetic studies confirm that modern humans have genes responsible for immunity and adaptation that came from Neanderthals. This is the legacy of those alliances, those courtships that took place around the campfire, on the hunt, in joint settlements. But there were also difficulties. The two species differed in culture, language, and habits. Sometimes this led to conflicts. However, it was courtship, caring, and living together that allowed us to overcome differences. And today, we can say, the history of mankind is the history of unions. Neanderthals' courtship of Homo sapiens women has become part of our evolution, leaving a mark in the blood of every human being.